let's take a look at how to service pools using the web app. Now, when you log in with your username and password, you're going to get a list of all the addresses of the pools that you need to service. So let's take a look at this menu really quick. Up at the top, you'll see that you can click this link to customize it. And that just allows you to put the buttons in certain orders and to choose which chemical tests you want to do and which ones you don't. Future service, if you have that option allowed in your account, you will see this option. If not, you won't even see it on the top here. But this option allows you to service a pool that's scheduled for future date service. You get to service it today if you want. Backdated service allows you to service a pool for a past date as if you were doing it today. Again, this option won't show up if it's not allowed in your account. Extra visit, if you need to go to a pool to do a follow-up visit, then this is the option that you would use, extra visit. Quotes, if you have permission to create quotes, quotes will allow you to create a quote and email it to a customer. Videos is a link that will take you to all the videos out there for the Pool Tech apps. To-do list, if your admin has set up tasks for you to do, they will appear on your to-do list, and you'll be able to click on that list and see all the tasks that need to be done. You can send a general note to the office anytime you want to. You can also include a photo, and those are covered in a different video. Right now we're just going through a walkthrough of this menu. And log out, of course, will log you out of the Pool Tech app program. Okay, so to actually service a pool, you're going to click on the address. Now, more than likely when you first enter the program, it will open up the display for the first pool in the list, so you don't actually have to open it yourself. Okay, so let's take a look at the display. Up at the top, it gives you your gate access information if you have any, and then some quick information about the customer, the address and phone number and so on. There's some specs about the pool itself, and you can update that information by clicking the update link if you find that the information is not correct. Below that are notes. So if you left notes for yourself from the last visit, or if your test results are also going to be out there. So the last 2 visits, if you have made 2 visits to this pool, will show up in this section with the test results and any notes you left for yourself. Again, you have a button to look at the to-do list. Again, as I said, that will be presented in a separate video. Okay, now let's look at the options. You can click on the View on Map button if you want to see the address shown on a map. Okay, it'll just show you the address on a map. You can zoom in and zoom out by moving the button there. So you can see more street names and so on from that view. Let's get out of there by closing the window. The Photos link allows you to take a photo of the pool and upload it. To do a photo, you click on Photos. You're going to click Choose File, which is going to open up all the icons that can be used to take a photo. One of them is going to be the camera. You click on the camera icon, take the photo, and then click the Upload button, and your photo will be uploaded. You can also look at any photos that have been taken off the pool by clicking the Show Photos button. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the display of the pool. Go back down here. Okay, service requests. If you need to put in a request for the office to do something, you're going to send it in the form of a service request. And we'll create a separate video that shows you how to do that. Customer equipment. As you service a piece of equipment or install a piece of equipment, you can document that equipment so that at a later date, you can look up that documentation and see what was done. It also allows you to schedule the next visit or the next repair that needs to be done to this equipment. on the way message, some customers may want to be notified before you come out to visit. So all you have to do is click the send on the way message link. That's all you have to do. You don't need to put in anything. It just will handle it yourself once you click that link. Reminders. You can set up reminders for yourself. If you need to remind yourself at some point in the future to do something, you can set up a reminder and it will show up on your menu right up at the top here. We again cover those in separate videos. Tools will allow you to take a look at the history of the pool. So for example, if I click on visit history, it'll show me all the dates that I've ever visited this pool. And it gives me all the test results that I took for that pool on that particular date. If I want to see the exact details of the visit, all I have to do is click on a particular date and it will bring up the visit, show me when I started, who the tech was, and any chemicals that were added, and so on and so forth, okay? Any notes that were left will also be on there. So you can see the entire visit history. To get back, all I have to do is click on the menu button and it'll take me back to where I was. Okay, so the tools menu allows you to look at visits. It also allows you to, if you want, to calculate the pool volume or the LSI. Okay, now let's look at actually servicing a pool. The first thing you have to do when servicing a pool is to click the start button. So you click the start button and it will create a visit record and it'll put a little green icon there to show you that you've already clicked the start button. If you do not click the start button, you cannot use any of the other options. You'll get an error message if you do. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is check the water chemistry. So I'm going to test the water and record some results. So I'm going to click on log chemicals. And let's say I'm going to test for free chlorine. So I click on it. And I'm going to test the water for free chlorine. And then I'm going to record the test results. So I can either select a test result from the list here. But if the result that I got is not on here, let's say, for example, 3.1. I got 3.1 and it's not on this list. I want to enter 3.1. All I have to do is put it in this box. Okay, 3.1. So if my test result is not in the list, I can put it in the box. If it is in the list, all I have to do is click on the button. All right, so now I've recorded the test result. If I need to add chemicals to the water, I do so from this list here. So as you can see, I have a list of chemicals available to me. And let's say I'm going to add some chlorine tablets. So I'm using 3-inch chlorine tablets. So I'm going to record the number 3. And the unit is already set to tablets. Now, if it were some other chemical, like if I was recording dichlor and it's in pounds, I would have to select pounds from the list. But because we're recording tablets, I choose tablets. And then I come down to the bottom here. Now, some people do sell chemicals in bulk to their customers, and then the customers furnish the chemicals to use each time. If the customer gave you these chlorine tablets, then you have to click the box for that chemical. You'll notice that I can add 3 chemicals. 1, 2, 3. And there are also 3 customer equipment boxes here. So make sure you click the 1 for the one that you selected. Since I added chemical 1, I'm going to click the used customers chems for chemical 1. Okay? So now that I filled it out, I click the submit button. And it goes back, and you notice that the button has turned black to show me that I've already recorded data for that particular test. Now I can do the same thing for pH. And this time, let's say the pH I observe is 7.2. So I select pH. And I want to use a pound of this pH increaser. So I'm going to select 1. And pounds is already selected. So I'm done. And it's my equipment. So this time I just click submit. And you notice that button turns black. So now that I'm done taking my tests, I just click the submit button here to tell it that I'm done. And now you notice it puts a green icon there next to log chemicals to tell me that I've already done that. Now I'm just going to log the tasks that I've done. So I click log tasks, and I'm going to check off each item as I do them. Okay. The customer is going to be able to see these tasks that I've completed. This gives them confidence that I've actually done something for them. Now the next thing is the filter pressure. If I take a filter pressure reading, I can select it from the list to record it. If I provide any extra services, I can select them from the list. If not, just skip over that. Now I can leave some notes for the customer. If notes have been preset for me, all I have to do is select a topic from the list. Let's say, for example, I just want to tell the customer that the water looks good and there's nothing more that needs to be done. I just select the water looks good topic. You'll have different topics according to what your business has set up for you. If I need to alert the customer about anything, let's say, for example, the water is low in the pool, it's the middle of summer, it's really hot, I need to tell the customer to add water to the pool, I could select a message, add water, for example, and that's all I need to do. Now, you'll notice that here on my menu, I have a box that says note to customer, where I can type a note to the customer. If you do not have permissions to type a note to the customer, you will not see this box at all. Okay? Since I already selected the notes above, I don't need to type anything in the box. Now, below that, I can leave a note for myself for the next time I visit this pool. So, for example, I could say, check pump runtime on next visit. For example, so now I've created a note for myself. Now I'm done with this page. I just click the submit button, and it will go ahead and record all that information. You'll notice that there's a little icon there to tell me that that task is now done. Now, if I used any parts, I can log them too. So I just simply click log parts, and I can select my part from the list. For example, suppose I used a skimmer basket. I can select that from the list and say, okay, I used one. Again, if the customer gave me that skimmer basket, I would have to click this box right here. But let's say it came from my truck. I'm going to leave it blank and then click the submit button. Okay, so now we're down to the review section. So now I can review my work. To review my work, all I do is click on the review work button, and I can look over the visit. And I can see there are my test results. There's the filter pressure and the chemicals that I added. Here's the part that I used, the skimmer basket, and the task that I did. And also the notes that I'm leaving for the customer. You see, all we did was select the subject, but the full note will be left for the customer. And there's the note I left for myself. Okay? So now that I've finished looking over my work, I can click the back button and it will take me back to the display. So the last thing I should do is review the chemicals that I entered if I'm unsure of what I did. This display allows you to look over the entries that you made. So any chemicals that you chose, any parts that you put out there, and if you find an error, you can actually remove that part or that chemical. To remove a part or chemical, you simply click the checkbox for that item and then click the delete button, and the item will disappear from the list. Okay? That's all you need to do. Once you've removed something from the list, if you do need to correct the item, then you need to go back in and re-add it. So if you remove a part and you really do need the part listed, then you need to go back in and log that, the correct part or the correct chemical. Okay, so now I'm done reviewing my parts and chemicals. I'm going to go back, and this time I'm done doing all the things that I need to do in terms of logging the visit. So all that's left is to click the finish button. Once I click the finish button, the address that I'm currently at, this one, is going to fall off the list. So I click the finish button, and it will go out there and it will apply whatever charges need to be applied to the customer's account. And you'll notice that now that address falls off the list and the next address appears. Okay? And that's how you service a pool using the web app.